Yemo bibia achi emamo jo eba Milo TV. Madi nyina mode share Prince Kojete wi MC Milo Canada based Ghanaian journalist mene ne matnase a. Ani ma kotwi eba breman a efa Canada ho nyina me bɔ no doboa na mato amawo. Ma chichire ma bɔ no po me sanim amwa tibi. Na wa waye wadwen se oba Canada na se mpo wo wote Canada wo permanent resident. Ne video ya eba be no, it has gotten to do with permanent residency. Ope Canada permanent resident. Kwan be na abefa so a ubenya Canada permanent resident. Simple or Canada and I say or outside Canada. It's all about permanent resident. And I say yes, say and I say would di and son what me accumulating number of years any days are or more and son what me apply for Canada. One yes what they say like to become a citizen. Kwan befa so obey citizen ni nyina be chechimu ewo efia Milo TV meeting the Prince Kojete wi MC Milo Canada based Ghanaian journalist wo dia ne se obe subscribe wo subscribe wi a na wa share na wa comment na afi wa yeden wo pushi agenda no forward sa anetie enuti medika aka che obetimi asend message abefa me WhatsApp line no 001 416 909 1100 oko Instagram ya wo honom MC Milo 1. Oko Facebook, Prince Kojete Milo. Snapchat, baby, ya spread it, your tentacles across social media. Nimum, Buamina Memoir. Nina yen tutu proye ene kankan, ene niema ensem fata ase, awo yema ye friend Ghana, edienti na make sa ene. Travel and tour phobia pimu awo Ghana. So Wobiba was me call Canada, was meji will say, Australia meji will say, US meji will say. Meanwhile, they are all lies. Omubwa. A tip cratch, a fen wabo sika no how they come travel and to agent. Bia. Hold on. Okay? Mrs. saying, hold on, and Fausika no ko, obeji usika nedi. And ne pandemic ninti, amaniema aye, hafia haso kakra. Okay? Inti senka I'm hard here to me. Hold on. So put you and yes, I bet you see because all this kind of car, a juma all ye. Only say currently travel and talk for ya and ye baby. Omuma Timamufu ni bi se Ghana for na. Among for seb walk out in baby a pebe 500 million. No, Cobrane just 2 days pe no wa jiskano. Now what did ko baby ama wakoye medicals. Kumase ye wo baby a ye medicals and back Canada, which is not true. And you know, cry. But be musu di omochi. Esu ye de ukọ ye medicals. O ye de ukọ. Na no say akwa bi frɛ me. Ono kra de company bi e wo krom ha. Nipa nam say wo betena happen. Na bia onya problem na de ne ko fie. E no waye no say ye agent. And na all use sa company. Nti nipa na send number na brɛ me. Sorry, or send company brɛ me. I call them to find out. Oka chem say no. And you know, mumfa obi am free Ghana ma ha. They deal with people within Canada. Look at that. Meanwhile, wajini sikadi. Ori enso chese. Now ye small scale miners saying. Ni sika wonya ye no. A wo boaboa no. And a kwabrane aje over there 400 million. 40,000 Ghana cedi. And a order da no. Hey, di on ti say ye kwa ne saying. Sika unya bi ye. But emfa kwan bone so empesika. Fa kwan pa so na fa pesika. Hwihwima de ekosoro. When you careful be do baabi, oba regret na ye too late. Ama wo so ebekọ wo maso ana wo nana no. Nti travel and tour agency for afi Ghana tourism industry and as a Ghana tourism board no. Omo so na me tro sai we am omo say. Omo so mo omo ni na ho. Enye obia ana so omutumi ma na sa license na na sa accreditation. Se mpo obetumi di nipa akọ amanone. Ene obia ye agent. Ene obia ye agent. Oko radio so no more announce ubeko hin ubeko Australia ubeko New Zealand ubeko Canada ubeko US ubeko UK ubeko hin ni nyina so anye no kre. I'm not saying say you need travel and tour you good we have them but just few I be a 2 out of 10 dia kan nyina no omu isu o madwen na sabi naivety yenum bi wo ho aseb yenya sasem wo fom ye kono mu kan na ye bi omochi. Come on, I didn't know so. You bet you sika di. Enso ye nya visa no ye den emma na akoye nne ochina agent no hesa guy ba ko unim de o man no guy no bom obo agent for no pressure saa ana o mama na foka wa foka afri kumase konkran ye se won ko sign ba bi ayi o de send me no so no enye legit ayi fake ana ye mana ko sign last 2 years one guy be friend me say company bi wo Montreal na wo ba be ye ho a wona me say hey owura to bo ase gina ho na me frɛ wo mo na me frɛ ono a wote ase mo ka kye ni say company na wo ka no a French country sorry French company okay and na company no this time around because of COVID no workers no dodo na wo fie nipa be 2 3 pe de wo adwuma no mu asata ono wo kasa no wo so obi ba krum ha enti nipa kra no bu fu me enti mo me careful travel and tour for no travel and tourism for travel agent for am wo Ghana me pa mo chew pi munya bukata se mu bu amanfo enye ena mo nso amudi musika koma omo no mo nso sabi munya jombu sa sabi munyimi sa se Canada na wo pa kwa ko Citizenship and Immigration Canada boshe Google ebe lupi bibia ba no wa one after the other uko ya na odi nachi obeji usika di ono keje ti akromfo bia nche no but don't find ne sametu botum wa odi sika no be sende no wo jiwi na be hu kwane bra ne o china sana wa sika no basa anyway nya no nti ene yetena ase ene ebedi nkomo kakra efa Canada wo permanent residents kwan be fa so wa obenya Canada permanent resident midi the prince Koyetewi Amelo TV Canada based Ghanaian journalist subscribe comment and then share ba cha mum yenko tie video no ana se yenko tie ene topic a yede ebrem e wo Melo TV so
Canadian permanent residency. How to obtain it? In today's video update, we will talk about how you can become a permanent resident of Canada. There are different Canadian immigration programs, depending on what suits you best, as the prerequisites for Canadian permanent residency depend on the stream under which an individual qualifies. Canada has introduced many immigration streams, based on various factors including age, education, work experience, net worth, and willingness to invest, as well as ties to Canada.
Okay, enti ene topic a ye ba be discuss. Asem a ye ba be tie, asem a ye ba be ka, asem a ye ba be broadcast ama obi bia. On say ene Ghana ye din. Enti obi a be so otu kwan. Ye nuanom bi wo Kuwait, bi wo Qatar, bi wo Saudi, bi wo Dubai, bi wo so many like other countries around the world, all because of say Ghana emu aye din. Ne mu na aye din no. Eno nche say kom de wonti fa nsam yenu nyina dey guna dabi tobu ase tobu ase na mo ni nna ho na wanye careful a ade amanfo de be ye no sika na waboaboa no anya within be say 5 or 6 years no obi di just 2 hours per wajiska no na afi waye ne basa ene ochina eno nti mu a yesi ye de mo ko Canada nyina no mo kama no ntum mo miebie maso na monye den sanse yesi de o waso no ontie de wani no onhwe Melo TV Toronto Canada yento asoma mo.
Now let's continue the video and talk about the benefits of becoming a Canadian permanent resident. Canadian permanent residents and their dependents are entitled the following. 1. To receive almost all social benefits that Canadian citizens are entitled to, including
Okay, etino said you all can hear say emposa wo ye obi a wo ye permanent resident kan PR say wo kuta PR e wo Canada benefit ben e na wo benya research ni chere say benefit bia even obi o hold Canada one passport so wo kuta Canada passport wo kura no wo so kuta sa benefit ne the only disadvantage wo mu ni say untumi nye den ento aba se ukuta PR permanent resident in Canada untumi nto aba anase ukonya case na emu odin a omo de obetum after ugil say why term no na ye de go back to where country where you were born enti ye nto aso
Canadian healthcare. 2. To live, work, and study in any Canadian province or territory. 3. To eventually apply for Canadian citizenship. 4. Protection under Canadian law and the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. What are the first steps for obtaining Canadian permanent residency? There are numerous ways for candidates and their families to qualify for Canadian permanent residency. There are over 60 categories of Canadian immigration. The best way to proceed is to have a qualified expert assess your qualification for a Canada immigration visa. What are Canadian citizenship requirements? There are 4 basic requirements, which are age requirement, time spent in Canada, official language obligation, and criminal history. Let's talk about the age requirements. Candidates must be 18 years old at the time of applying, or have a parent, adoptive parent, or legal guardian apply on their behalf. Time in Canada. To become eligible for Canadian citizenship, a candidate must have lived in Canada for at least 3 years, out of the past 4 years, as a permanent resident before submitting an application. Children under 18 do not need to meet this requirement. Official languages. English or French are the official languages of Canada. Candidates must be proficient in at least one language to become a Canadian citizen. Criminal history. Certain convictions will render you criminally inadmissible to Canada. Please see the official guidance for information on how your criminal conviction might affect your application. Canadian permanent resident requirements are different from citizenship requirements, which are as follows. The requirements to become Canadian permanent resident vary depending on the stream the candidate has applied in. Once you have become a permanent resident of Canada, you must remain in Canada for 2 of 5 years to maintain it. Candidates must have permanent resident status to apply for Canadian citizenship. To be clear, you must not be the subject of an immigration investigation, an immigration inquiry, or a removal order. Who can apply for Canadian citizenship? Candidates must be at least 18 years of age to begin the application process for Canadian citizenship. To apply for citizenship, on behalf of a child under 18, the candidate must meet the following conditions. The individual applying for Canadian citizenship is the child's parent or legal guardian. The child in question must be a permanent resident of Canada, but is not required to have lived in Canada for 3 years, and one parent is already a Canadian citizen, or is applying to become a citizen as well. This stipulation also applies to adoptive parents. Our video ends here.
Okay.
We hope you found today.
Okay. It is and it you church you kwanya befa so obey Canada. Simple wo Canada. Wo krodua mu ana simple wo outside. Na wo ma ya say na ochre o say kwanya befa so oba be permanent resident. And no criteria no different from kwanya befa so a obeba be Canada was citizen. Citizenship nature say ukuta wo passport. It ya no say ukuta criminal record e wo krum ha. You cannot become untumi mamaye citizenship. Na che say wo ho bon kon wo ye nipa onye timamuni pa. Ana afei say akwara ni emfinhia dunwotwe nso a no the criteria for becoming citizenship no different from panimu a ono watra 18 years. Sa and it ubo video na obeti detail oho midi the prince kojetewia aye Milo TV Toronto Canada etimame poto bibi kakra bi. Okay, so I do this video for the benefit of the Ghanaian community who cannot read and then write. You get me? I think this English is better now. Yeah, so I do this video purposely for the Ghanaian community both here and abroad so that they would get to know what is going on in Canada. Like how to become a permanent resident, how to migrate to Canada, like whatever, how to become a Canadian citizenship, They've summed all this up. So I do this to help my people in our back home language, to help my people who cannot read and write to get what I'm talking about, or to get what the Canadian government is talking about, so that they will just understand and stop following those hanky panky, those so-called travel and tour people, Yeah. Okay. This is where we come to the end of today's video. My name is Prince Kojeteria. I'm Milo, Canada-based Ghanaian journalist. Just try not to forget that I always tell you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Milo TV, M to the I to the L to the O, Milo, and then you add TV. Subscribe, comment, like, and then share my videos. Go to Facebook. My name is Prince Kojoteria Milo. Instagram, MC Milo1, and then Snapchat, everywhere we are there. Thank you very much for watching. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you very much. Good night.